Hey, this is Marty from Total Outdoor Programming. I'm going to bring you another video in our Flashback video series, which is older videos that I've filmed over the years. I thought they were kind of fun, and we figured we'd go ahead and bring them back and let you guys see some of the cool things that we've got to witness over the years. So this one is actually not too far back. This is my deer season from this year. Still filmed on a handy cam. Hey, they're cheap, and if they get rained on, it's not the end of the world. So this is probably the shortest deer season that I've ever had. And really busy with the taxidermy shop and stuff, so I didn't get a lot of times to go out hunting, but went out twice during bow season, a couple evenings, no real close calls or anything. Opening morning of firearms, I went out, sat from dark to dark, saw one nice deer, but he was a distance off. So it was the second day of firearms season. Slipped out before daylight, got in my box blind. We hunt out in the field and leave the woods to the deer, and we just kind of let them live there and wait for them to come out. We've actually got a video that you can watch that discusses our strategy in stand placement or box blind placement too. So the morning went by, had some decent action, mostly does or smaller bucks, and hit that 9 o'clock to 11 range where it really kind of slows down. Hadn't seen much of anything at all. At that point, I'd already determined I was going to sit all day. I'd brought a backpack, food, coffee, and a thermos. Nothing's moving. I haven't seen deer for a couple hours, but I also know that a lot of our deer that we shoot in camp, the bigger bucks end up getting shot somewhere in that 10 to 1 range. So I figured I was going to stick it out, and about 11:30 I looked over and I saw a doe about 250 yards away standing on a fence line staring back at the woods, and that's always a good thing when they do that. You know that they're looking back at something. So I started watching, trying to see if there was a buck over there, and all of a sudden here he comes. And right away I thought, yeah, I think this buck's a pretty good buck. I'm going to try and get him if he comes close enough. Well, he was way off, 250 yards out, so I had to wait for quite a while. All of a sudden the doe picks up and starts running my direction. You go instantly from kind of bored watching to the heart starts racing, trying to get your gun up, trying to get the camera up. She stops and I start watching, and she hangs out for maybe another 15-20 minutes right there. I went ahead and ranged her, and she was still quite a bit out of distance. They were probably 200 yards still at this point, and so I'm still waiting. And the buck's staying inside the woods. What the bucks will do during the rut is they'll try and chase the does out into the field. If they can get that doe out in the field and block her from the woods, then they can chase her around in the field and keep her locked down in the field until she'll finally stand and be bred. So that's what he was doing. He was staying inside the wood line, doing his best to keep her out there, and she was wanting to get back inside the woods. And so because of that, he was never clear. He was always covered up, and branches and things in front of him. So I'm sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden here she goes again, takes off running a little bit closer, and at this point they're within gun range, but he's still back inside the brush. And I'm waiting, thinking, hey, all I've got to do is wait for him to step out. If he can just get clear of that brush, then I'd be good to go. I noticed his body language was kind of changing just a little bit. And next thing you know, well, we'll just say that that was the first time that I actually had a clear shot on his vitals. But I thought about taking that shot, and I said, you know what, I just don't think I could take that shot. It might be an interesting video clip, but I think I'll just let him finish his business. And the cool thing is, hey, he passed on his genes, and so he's going to have some young ones out there over the next couple years too, and I'm back to the hunt again. As soon as he gets done doing his thing, He's right back into the brush again, still no shot on his vitals. Waiting there, all of a sudden she takes off again, comes running at me closer. I'm thinking this has got to be it. She stops about 80 yards in front of me right out in the field. He's still inside the wood line, just would not clear. He bedded down for a while, a snowstorm came in, pretty cool getting to watch him in the snow there. And at this point, these deer had been there within 250 yards or less of me for probably about an hour. It was still exciting, it was cool having him there, but you get to a point where you just, oh, still there, I'm eating crackers, drinking coffee, oh, still there, you know, just kind of keeping an eye on him and waiting for him to clear that brush. Finally, she gets up, starts running the other direction. When a deer turns and starts going away from you, you start getting real nervous. So I'm watching, waiting, hoping that he's going to give me some chance at some point here. Now they're out to 100 yards, 120, 130, and finally he gets to the point where he's starting to clear the brush. So I keep switching the camera, getting the gun up. Switching the camera, getting the gun up, trying to stay with him. Finally, he gets into a spot where I had a good clear shot on the vitals. It's what I'd been waiting for. So I'd been waiting an hour and a half at this point. We'll just say the buck fever was completely gone at that point. I felt really confident, really comfortable. Took my time, got a really nice shot, waited for him to get broadside, and as soon as I squeezed the trigger, I felt really confident in the way he reacted. He bolted and only ran about 60, 70 yards. Just after you see him go out of sight in the cameras where we found him. And so I was extremely thrilled. It was the shortest season that I've had for getting a buck as far as number of days that I've been out, but it was probably the longest hunt that I've had sitting there with a shooter within that range. So it was really cool, kind of interesting hunt, and I was extremely happy to get it, and looking forward to next year. So hopefully you like this video. It's another one in our Flashback video series, and if you like these videos, keep subscribing and we'll keep bringing more for you. I feel like I'm rambling.